What's going on, guys, and welcome to the channel. Today, we're gonna be covering a little breakdown of a technique that I showed in class previously. I really want to kind of go over this technique specifically and many more down the line. This is very foundational, something that you're gonna use from white belt all the way to black belt. So I wanna cover this technique and make sure that every detail and every nuance is covered. So if you guys have any questions, even after the video, be sure to please drop them in the comments below. That helps a ton. That way I can hear from you guys and break this down as much as possible. Also, guys, don't forget, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. That way you guys don't miss the next video. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Okay, guys, so we're gonna be starting from like a knee shield position. This is really a position that could be done from half guard as well, where your partner on top has both knees down. Maybe their knee is down in between your legs. But for this position, we're starting from a cross knee position where he cuts the knee and maybe you have a knee shield, something like that. The initial response from here, what I do right away is I don't like to sit in knee shield as much. If I can utilize the knee shield to push them away and get my bottom foot back on their hip right away, great. If I feel like they're cutting pretty hard, I'm going right away and I'm gonna throw my left leg right over the top into the lasso position. Now this is a fake lasso, I call it. It's not a real lasso. You're not grabbing the sleeve, because I'm not going to lasso here. And not that lasso's a bad thing. Lasso's amazing, I love a lasso. But I feel like lasso's more of a defensive position. So what the position we're gonna cover today is gonna be from the cross sleeve guard. The cross sleeve guard is attacking right away. Like there's no chilling, there's no waiting. It gets right into the game and right into attacks, whether you're pulling them into submissions, just because the angle of the guard is so effective. In this case, he's going and he's cutting to his left, so I'm gonna throw my left leg over his arm. So you can see how that's gonna be a barrier for me to keep him away. That's gonna be a way for me to keep his body and weight off me just a little bit. I'm gonna use that foot right in the shoulder. I'm gonna push just a little bit. All right, so as we keep going, see how I have both hands on the sleeves? So, you know, a lot of times maybe you grab one hand on the sleeve, or maybe you go like no-gi grip and you try to grab the wrist. Let's utilize the gi in this one. This is gonna be a really important step for us to break that grip, because your partner on top isn't gonna let that bottom collar grip go too easily. So we're gonna grab both hands on the sleeve. Left foot is in his shoulder. So with all that pressure going against him, I'm gonna pull away and it should break that grip off. So as I lean away, boom, the grip is broken. I still keep my position. And from here, guys, a lot of times, partner on top is gonna react. They're gonna feel very uncomfortable, but first things first, we're gonna go ahead and drag that arm all the way across. Okay, you notice how my partner stands because he feels uncomfortable. Because I'm taking away his attacks, taking away the grip that he needs. Many times we think, you know, man, maybe if I have this special move to take away his passing or to sweep him or submit him. But a lot of times, guys, it's those little things, not letting him have a certain grip to where it checks their confidence, where he's like, oh, I thought I would be able to get that, but now I can't. That's gonna help a lot in just breaking down your opponent. Maybe white, blue belt, maybe even some purple belt matches are gonna feel like you can get stuff like a little bit quicker. But once you start getting to the brown and black belt divisions, in the higher rank, in the higher level matches, you're gonna start to see how much more important it is to break your opponent down, rather than thinking right away, how can I submit him in 5 seconds, or how can I fly and triangle him? You know, those are nice, and not to say that black belts and brown belts don't do that or that doesn't happen. But I want us to be prepared for the long haul, prepared for the majority of matches. That way you can have more success. That way you can start to see yourself be consistent every day in training, and not like, man, yesterday I did good, I was beating everybody, and then today, man, I got beat up. Like, let's try to learn and grow and get to a point where we can be consistent every single day. So just kind of going back to the technique, this is part of it. This is just me breaking that grip off makes him uncomfortable. Now he's standing, you see how he took his knee off. And if he doesn't take the knee off, guys, if he stays in that position, you know, you're still gonna be able to utilize the foot on the shoulder to push him away and pull that leg out. It's easy, okay? It's something that's inevitable, so that's why he's standing to try to do something. Okay, so he stands, and now I stick my bottom foot on the hip. That's gonna be super important for me to be able to lift my hips, and now I'm gonna bring that arm all the way across, okay? So if I don't have that bottom foot on the hip, I don't have anything to lift and pull it over. I would just be using my hands, and he's gonna be able to grab a grip or pull away or just escape in general. So utilize that foot on the hip, and now guys, I'm gonna be able to drag that arm across. Now, as I drag this arm across, guys, it's very important that I don't like hold it with the cross sleeve as I drag it around. I wanna hold it with both hands as I bring it around. Now, the important thing is I don't allow him to re-grab my collar grip. If he re-grabs my collar grip, it's not the end of the world. We may have to switch to a new guard, and this whole position is a win-win. We were able to get him out of his comfort zone, out of his, cross knee pass to where he's feeling good, and he's standing again. He's not putting any pressure on me, so we won already. But we don't want to just stop there. We want to get all the way to an attack. We want to get all the way to submissions and all the way to sweeps and eventually get on top and submit. So by me holding on with both hands, I'm going to be able to use, if you guys can notice, my right hand is guiding his hand under my left. So I'm gonna be able to kind of push, pull, and keep his fingers from touching my collar at all, okay? So, right hand is guiding, and I'm blocking his ability to grab my collar. So as it comes around, I'm dragging, guys, and I pull it right into the pocket, okay? So this also is a good rule to remember when you're doing omoplatas as well. When you do an omoplata, you stick that hand in the pocket, okay? You gotta keep the hand on the hip, all right? And so for the cross sleeve guard, when you're dragging the arm across, you put it in the pocket. Don't leave it out, because the more you leave it out or leave it away from your hip or from your body, the less control and the less strength you're gonna have. You almost empower yourself and give yourself more strength when you bring it to yourself. So you bring it and lock it into your hip, and now my partner's not gonna be able to drag it back across. Okay, so I've got that locked down. And now right away, notice I let go of the sleeve with the right hand. So I hold with the cross sleeve, and my right hand, same side grip, is gonna grab right on the seam of the gi. So right where the gi stitches together from the sleeve, from the armpit to his lat, I'm gonna grab right underneath that grip. It's a super strong grip, all right? These two grips are there's no way he can break it. In this technique, we're gonna be covering a sweep from the X guard. Also, guys, don't miss any of our content drops on Instagram, so make sure you guys follow us on Instagram, where we will be covering more techniques from this position. My favorite from here immediately is the triangle. You can see how you can pull that arm straight through your legs, and then that left foot can go over his shoulder on the right side of his body. So you can pull that into a triangle. And again, there's more techniques, but for this technique specifically, we're gonna be covering when your partner yanks up and he starts to pull really tall and he starts to try to get his arm back out. This is a common defense and a really good defense as well. I would say a mistake is he tries to step over the leg with his free hand and tries to go crossing the other way. I can just drag right when he gets in and I take his back. So my partner here is gonna stand nice and tall. And as he pulls up, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and let go of the seam. The seam is nice. I like to get there for like a pit stop. I get there, I break his posture down a little bit. And those little pit stops, guys, are key. If I just go straight to the ankle, there's no posture breaking, and there's no way of checking that confidence again. When I hold the seam, he's gonna be a little bit less, he's gonna have a little bit less strength to pull up. And so he's gonna almost think twice the next time. So now he's slowing down. If I didn't grab the seam right away, he pulls straight up and he powers out. He's confident, he's pulling that arm out, he's ready to pass now. So I grab the seam and the sleeve first, hold my position a little bit, maybe pop a triangle here and there, but I can just hold this, really. I hold those two grips until I'm ready. When he starts pulling up, now I let go of the seam and I grab the ankle grip. Okay, just grab the ankle. Don't get too wild about grabbing pants, because from here he can swivel the feet. I don't have any control like De La Riva or any control on his legs. So just grab the ankle, cup it. Don't grab the pants yet, and don't underhook yet. We're going for the underhook here in a second, but I don't want to underhook here because it's just too much distance for me to grab. The easiest grip from here is the ankle grip. So just grab the ankle grip really fast. That way he doesn't escape and pulls the leg out really quick. So we're here, and now guys, look, you can notice I'm starting to hook that left foot that's away from the camera under his knee. That's gonna help pull me under. And again, I mentioned we're going into the X guard with this position, and with the cross sleeve, when you get into the X guard, it's so powerful. So notice how my right knee is starting to tuck under. I've covered this in one of our techniques before, where the entry to X guard from here with the foot on the hip, you have to turn your foot, the top of your foot's gonna land on his thigh. And as you pull yourself in, it's gonna turn, your knee's gonna turn down like a key, and it just falls right in as you scoot your body in. Remember, X guard, a good X guard is belt under belt. So pull yourself in and you get in right away. Okay, and then again, notice how I came up on my elbow. So this is key to kind of get some momentum to kind of pull myself in. I have everything I need. I have the sleeve, the cross sleeve I can use to pull myself in. I have the far hook on his knee to use to pull myself in. And I also have the ankle grip to pull myself in. So 3 points of contact, that's a good rule of thumb to remember. Once you, when you're going into X guard, it's 3 points of contact. So I got myself in, I came up to the elbow and I scoot hard. And now I have a great position, cross sleeve. You know, he can't get my head. He can't back step because I have his sleeve. Usually for back steps, you can post your hand on the ground and use that to kind of kick back, but for this position, he can't. All right, so we're moving forward. Okay, from here, now a little detail. I'm gonna utilize the my right leg here. So my right leg that's tucked under his thigh, I'm gonna use that and pinch my knee. I'm gonna kind of pinch my knee down, and that's gonna put some torque on his knee. That's gonna make him kind of turn his body. And as I do that, I kind of shove that sleeve grip away from me. And also I use my left foot that's hooked under his knee and I stretch him out. So all of those things combined, that's gonna make him post his hand. So it's gonna put his weight forward, see how he stepped? So I made him step, and that's gonna force him to get to a weak plane, a position where he doesn't have very good balance. See, I made him post, all the weight is way over there on that hand. Makes that foot, that leg on my shoulder, very easy to underhook now. So now I go with my underhook. But be careful here. You gotta make sure everything just stays tight. That right foot that's under his thigh is staying glued to him, because very quickly he can kick that leg out as I go for the underhook. So be very careful, be very tight. Once you go for the underhook, get it right up on your shoulder. I always kind of utilize this analogy. When you're putting on your gi, you don't want to put your gi on halfway, right? You're gonna bring it up all the way to the shoulder. All right, so by your ear. So same concept here when you're underhooking the leg. So it's got to be quick. So everything's tight. And then once I go, see how I move my body and I kind of worm my arm around it. Okay. Another way I do that as well, I don't have this in this video, but if you can imagine, sometimes I go like elbow first. That helps a lot too. So for this case, we went ahead and just worm that arm through. Okay, so notice I don't stop like right there. I don't stop with the foot on my bicep or the foot on my shoulder. I'm gonna bring that thing all the way up to my neck. Boom, see how it kind of fit right in the neck, the crease of my neck. All right, his toes are right underneath my head. That's a great position for this underhook. Okay, most of the time they're gonna bring the weight back down, and I'm totally cool with that. It's almost like a trap. I want him to come back. All right, I want him to come back. And now from here, I'm gonna grab the pants, and I'm gonna utilize that I'm gonna bring his foot that's on my neck all the way over my body, but I'm not gonna stop there. I'll show you why. So I grab the pants and I have the sleeve. Okay, so in order for me to bring that leg all the way over, I'm gonna need to connect again. I mentioned that when I was putting putting his sleeve across my body and putting it on the pocket. The whole like idea and concept of bringing his limbs to your body to almost empower you, to make yourself stronger. If his arm was away from your hip, you're not as strong, but when you bring the arm to your hip, to your pocket, you're more, you have a little bit more strength and more control. Same concept. I won't be able to bring his leg over my head with one hand. So I'm gonna bring my knuckles to his knee. Okay, so I would say knuckles to knee. All right, so the sleeve that I have, I'm gonna bring that to his knee joint. All right, so you can see how easy it is to lift that leg, and then watch how I'm gonna bring it all the way. And I'm lifting it in the air. I have so much control here. I don't have to go fast. So I'm lifting it in the air, and then as I'm doing that, I'm kind of leaning away and pulling that sleeve through his leg That way my elbow can come all the way around his ankle. And the reason why I'm doing this is you're gonna see here in a second, when I do come up, it gives me more control as I come up for the pass. All right, so this is a nice technique to have you end up in a nice passing position right away. So I open that elbow around his ankle. I still have the sleeve grip. And now I'm gonna go ahead and reach up and grab his pants or his belt. And then I kind of go over a little detail here. I was explaining how some people are just super strong, and you get to this position, you're like, yeah, I'm about to sweep him, I'm about to take his back, and they just stand up and power out and they pull the sleeve. And it's hard to hold, because if someone does stand and they're powerful enough, my hand can't follow it because it's behind his leg. So that's the only drawback here by pulling your elbow through. But you know, you're already behind his body. So whenever they do try to power out and stand, you can notice, guys, how easy it is for me to just switch my hips and get my hooks behind him to the crab ride position, take his back, and it's game over. Techniques like these, like where they're very intricate, it doesn't always happen the way you want it. I've pulled this technique off so many times, but there's times where it just doesn't happen. Times where I just need to reset, do it again. And again, I mentioned in the beginning of this that you don't lose anything. You're on your way, you're attacking, you're moving, you're not sitting, you're not defending, you're not pushing people off, you're moving, you're attacking. So don't worry if like a technique, you know, that is all moving in your favor doesn't end up working out. You can always do it again. Do it again. You know, because as long as you stay attacking, as long as you do practice some of those like backups where you can take his back if he postures up. You can just, you know, there's other pit stops you take. So for this technique, you don't have to do it like all in one. You'll feel it out. Like once you initially pull the arm across, cross sleeve and seam, you can just pop a triangle. You know, there's other things that you can do. Again, we're here and I get my underhook. I got my sleeve position. I bring the leg all the way over, knuckles to knee, and now I'm ready to take him down. So I grab his pants. And then once you guys come up, it's super easy. Keep flaring that elbow that was around his ankle, and the leg drag's super easy to solidify and finish. There's plenty of attacks from there, but most importantly, you're getting from on bottom to on top and in a good pass position already in a leg drag. You're ready to pass, take the back, submit, and finish. That's what it's all about. Hey, thank you guys so much, and I hope you guys learned something today. Hopefully you guys can add this to your game, whether you're a black belt, whether you're a white belt. I hope that these techniques can speak to anyone and everyone, whether you're shorter, taller, you know, smaller, larger. I hope this speaks to everyone, you know, and let me know in the comments if it does. If you're like, man, I just can't do this. How can I, you know, modify this for my body type? My legs are a little bit shorter, or my legs are really long. Let me know, and I'd love to help. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate y'all. Make sure you guys subscribe, and man, we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.